you and I have actually talked about this. I said to you once, a lot of my clients don't have the necessary data to make decisions, right? Like they're not, maybe haven't invested in a platform like Pendo or put in the time and energy. And your response to me was, actually, I think people have too much data. So I want to kind of switch to what we do with that data. Like, Greg, in your experience, what's the process from taking maybe a lot of data and actually making it actionable? How do you move, as a lot of people like to say, insight to action or insight to implementation? What was the process for doing that? If there are these, now we live in a world where there's reams of data coming at people.
Well, yeah, it's hard. I think that unfortunately we have to sometimes push back against all the data that is being tossed at us and make sure that we're, politely challenging, like, is that really a data point that we need to consider? And Holly made reference to it earlier that, sometimes there's problems that don't need to be solved. And so I think that you have to have some, good, honest conversations about, like, well, is this really important? But I think you also have to be brave and ask the question, like, well, does this really impact the business goal or the UX goal? And if it's neither, then do we really need to talk about it? Or figure out a way to measure, is its impact so subtle and so small that it's not even worth the time and energy in order to make sure that you're filtering out the noise, so to speak. I find that in terms of, I like to get out ahead of things as a leader, which means that I like to spend a lot of time with my product folks and understanding what's on their roadmap early, so that I can then work with my team to say, okay, well, how would we want to tell this story? How would we want to define some metrics, or some data that would be compelling and that would be either additive to what we're building or politely, subtractive, is that a word? But, politely, say, like, maybe you're thinking about this wrong. Maybe people will be willing to adopt that thing, but we got to do these other things first. And that's what this data is showing us. It's not showing us that we should push forward on this thing. It's showing us that we should pump the brakes. We should get rid of some of this extraneous noise and make sure we're really focused on the core versus the periphery of the issue at hand.